greater accountability, stronger security measures, and more effective action from those entrusted with our safety, we must also play our part. Support our security forces, salute their gallantry, stand with those who stand for us. If you see something, say something. Let us be our brother's keeper. We must never surrender to fear, despair, or hopelessness. This is not the time for division, not by tribe, not by religion, not by region, not by political party. Because terror recognizes no ethnicity, no faith, and no ideology. Its enemy is all of us. And together, united as one people, we can defeat it. For our children, for our communities, for our future, for Nigeria. Join the movement. Stand for our country. Stand for one another. Hashtag Unite Against Terror.
This is Adbn News. INEC publishes credentials of 2027 Presidential National Assembly candidates. Federal government inaugurates committee to curb national grid failures. Foreign Affairs Ministry clarifies suspension of Nigerian domestic workers to Kuwait. On the foreign scene, thousands of migrants return to Morocco after Ceuta border surge. And in sports, Ogazi wins gold as Nigeria adds athletics medals at Commonwealth Games. Good evening. My name is Xavier Robert. Apologies for that hiccup, but we delve straight into the news, starting with the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, publishing all particulars, academic credentials, and other documents submitted by candidates contesting the 2027 Presidential Senate and House of Representatives elections. The publication carried out on Saturday in line with the Commission's revised timetable and schedule of activities for the 2027 general election provides Nigerians with the opportunity to scrutinize the credentials and other documents submitted by candidates ahead of the polls. Among the presidential candidates whose particulars were displayed are President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the All Progressives Congress APC, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar of the African Democratic Congress ADC, former Anambra State Governor Peter Obi of the National Democratic Congress NDC, alongside candidates of other political parties that successfully submitted their nomination forms. The exercise also covered the publication of the credentials and personal particulars of candidates contesting the Senate and House of Representatives elections across the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. INEC said the publication is a statutory requirement aimed at enhancing transparency in the electoral process and enabling members of the public to examine the documents submitted by aspirants before the 2027 general election. Edo State Governor Senator Mondo Pawolo has called on Edo indigents in the United Kingdom to support President Bola Tinubu's re-election in 2027, describing continuity at the federal level as key to sustaining development in the state. The governor also urged the diaspora to invest their expertise, resources and global networks in Edo's growth, saying the state is increasingly positioning itself as a destination for investment and economic opportunities. Here's the report.
At the Shine Beyond Borders engagement in London, Governor Mondo Pawolo said the partnership between the federal government and Edo State has delivered visible gains in infrastructure, security, and economic development. He urged Edo professionals and investors abroad to complement government's efforts by bringing home their knowledge, investment, and international connections.
In the area of security, we have secured Mr. President's approval for the establishment of the National Forward Cooperation Group and the court institution. About our recent advance in African state and other violent crimes, I assure you that the army will restore lasting peace and make the safe for everyone.
The engagement also drew support from prominent Edo leaders and members of the diaspora who commended the administration's development drive and pledged to contribute through investment and strategic partnerships.
Because the evidence of ground is clear. Government built Bentley breweries and it's gone. I tried to revive it. It has a lot of issues. And about the came, I'm not sure if this lady he took to visit. And I don't think Governor Monday is going to be able to visit because of the competitors.
The high point of the event was the presentation of branded souvenirs by Governor Mondo Pewolo to members of Edo diaspora who reaffirmed their support for President Bola Tinubu's 2027 re-election bid and pledged to mobilize backing for the renewed hope agenda.
Nigerian diaspora, you will find that one is an Edo person. So Edo is actually the heartbeat of the heartbeat. That is why we are here. And if we look at the numbers, it is also very important. A wonderful and magnificent program you are doing. College of Education and Dialogue, the disengaged workers, Your Excellency, they've been to my house severally to thank you. The previous administration abandoned them. About 5 billion naira, you have paid over 50% of that money gratuity to pension.
As conversations gradually shift towards 2027, the London engagement reflects the Edo state government's strategy of combining political mobilization with economic diplomacy, positioning the diaspora not as voters and supporters, but as critical partners in the state's long-term development. Favor Osazua, Adbn News.
The federal government has inaugurated a technical working committee on grid stabilization as part of renewed efforts to tackle persistent power outages, voltage fluctuations, and recurring national grid collapses. Minister of Power Joseph Tebe said the committee will work with the Vision Company of Nigeria and the Nigerian Independent System Operator to identify priority projects, address transmission bottlenecks, and upgrade aging infrastructure. According to the minister, the government is moving beyond temporary fixes to a long-term overhaul of the national transmission network, stressing that improvements in electricity generation and distribution can only be sustained with a stable and reliable grid. The ministry said Nigerians would receive regular updates on the implementation process while assuring that the reforms would be driven by accountability and measurable results aimed at delivering a more stable electricity supply. Also, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCPC, has warned that differing regulatory standards across Nigeria's emerging state electricity markets could create uncertainty for investors and weaken consumer protection. The Commission urged stronger collaboration between federal and state electricity regulators to ensure a harmonized consumer protection framework as the Electricity Act 2023 is implemented nationwide. Chief Executive Officer of FCCPC, Tunji Bello, made the call during a stakeholders meeting in Abuja, attended by officials of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, the Nigerian Electricity Management Services Agency, and state electricity regulators. Bello described the Electricity Act 2023 as a major reform that empowers states to establish independent electricity regulatory commissions, stressing that its success depends on effective cooperation among regulators to deliver a seamless experience for electricity consumers.
Obsolete meter intervention illustrates an important principle. The Commission respected AERC's statutory mandate and recognized its technical expertise. We did not seek to assume the role of the sector regulator. Instead, we acted in a way that supported the existing regulatory framework and strengthened its effectiveness. In my view, this is what modern regulatory governance requires. Institutions should understand and respect their respective mandates, communicate openly, support one another in the exchange of their lawful responsibilities, and work together to protect the interests of consumers.
Communities in Ika local government area of Akwa Ibom State have received a major boost in infrastructure and social development with the inauguration of projects facilitated by the President of the 10th Senate, Godswill Akpabio. The Senate President was represented at the event on Friday by his wife, Dr. Unoma Akpabio. Adbn correspondent Emmanuel Silas has more.
The day's activities began with a courtesy visit to the paramount ruler of Ika local government area, His Royal Majesty Adbn Joseph Okosi, where the Senate President Godswill Akpabio, represented by his wife Dr. Unoma Akpabio, received royal blessings before proceeding to inaugurate the project. Classroom blocks at Ika Comprehensive High School, Ikorokpanawa, and St. Augustine Secondary School, Uruanyang, an ICT Center for Youth at the Ika Council Secretariat, the Ika Ikoriwang, Ikoroyo Rural Farming Road, and other community development projects. Speaking during the inauguration, Dr. Unoma Akpabio said the interventions reflect the Senate President's commitment to improving access to quality education, expanding digital opportunities for young people, and providing infrastructure that will enhance the well-being of the people.
We can't talk about election here. We can't talk about campaign. We can only talk about increasing our numbers for the Senate President, for our President first of all, and Bola Tinubu, CFR. The chairman has reassured us again that no vote will be lost in Ika. I can only pray that continue to be as peaceful as you are. Women remain peaceful. The youth remain peaceful. Our traditional institution, let them remain peaceful. Let brothers remain peaceful. The chairman of the council has equally told me that we will never see any blood.
The chairman of Ika Local Government Council, Barrister Utebe Nwoko, commended the Senate President for attracting impactful projects to the area.
He gave us a route. Now we took the route to Ikorodo, commencing from Oraya, and then it goes through. Some people know what I'm talking about. And took to Ikorodo. The idea was to go and get the place into Ika local government. Now you know what you have thought about that place. Today, by the grace of God and the magnanimity of the governor of Akwa Ibom State, Pastor Mo Basi Eno PhD, the road has extended even beyond that place that we stopped in 2018, 2019 to where we are today. But I must also thank the governor who collaborated with the governor of Abia State, Governor Oti, and they told him, said, no, he can extend to this part. Abia State extend to this part and live as brothers.
Speaking on behalf of the beneficiaries, the principal of Ika Comprehensive High School, Mrs. Umoetenkam, lauded the interventions.
Senate President, on behalf of the management staff and students of Ika Comprehensive High School, Ikorokpanawa, I welcome you to this great school that has produced many dignified sons and daughters of our great country.
Developmental projects spread across Ika local government area, courtesy of the Senate President, if well harnessed, will improve the life of the people of the area. Emmanuel Silas, Adbn News.
The Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board has inaugurated the Nigerian Content Intervention Fund Equity Scheme Investment Committee to strengthen oversight of investments under the intervention scheme. At the inauguration in Ikoyi, Lagos, Executive Secretary of the NCDMB, Felix Ogbe, urged members of the committee to exercise due diligence in carrying out their responsibilities and ensure accountability in the management of the scheme.
I'm happy that we're here today to really push this committee forward so that we can start issuing out some little funds to applicants who are already, I believe the list is growing every day. And I hope that the committee, the group being set up today will be able to do good due diligence on all the companies and make sure that the equity is not, the fund is not dashed. It's supposed to be refunded when, after being used judiciously. So I think one of the top of the list you guys have to do is to make sure that the people you are giving the fund to are people who are credible, who will return our fund back to us. And please, there's no entitlement mentality on this fund. I know some people think that it's a gift. It's not a gift, and that this is what you have the applicant know.
The committee is expected to provide strategic oversight of the scheme by monitoring investments and supporting the long-term growth of beneficiary companies.
We will now then have more oversight in this because of the instruments that we're using, and we can now help them develop into sustainable companies, which is what the fund is targeted at. I think in terms of the committee mandate, the aim is to ensure that the committee has oversight over the fund and ensures that we have a portfolio that's sustainable and have investments in companies that will grow to become bigger companies down the line.
The inauguration reinforces the board's commitment to strengthening the administration of the NCIF equity scheme and advancing local content development in Nigeria's oil and gas industry. Moving on now, President Bola Tinubu has reaffirmed Nigeria's commitment to strengthening its partnership with Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, following the organization's pledge of more than $500 million to support the country's immunization program over the next 5 years. Speaking while receiving a Gavi, a delegation led by Chief Executive Officer Dr. Sania Nishta at the presidential villa in Abuja, President Tinubu described the alliance as a key partner in improving immunization coverage and expanding local vaccine production. The president said Nigeria remains committed to protecting the health of its citizens and developing Africa's vaccine manufacturing capacity.
Poverty is only not acceptable. And through education, dedication, and patriotism, we can conquer poverty. And we will do so. We can live a healthy life, paying attention to science and those who are behind it and funding it. Thank you, your organization, for dedication, commitment to humanity.
Earlier, Dr. Nishta praised President Tinubu's leadership, noting that Nigeria has implemented significant macroeconomic and health sector reforms under his administration.
Under your leadership, your country has seen significant macroeconomic and health sector reforms. You have been an excellent champion for global health in your African Union ambassadorial capacity. Nigeria has a very salient role in the health sector. Whether it is the primary healthcare revitalization, as a result of which your primary healthcare setup has seen a fourfold increase in utilization. I'm sure you're aware that your country has the honor of doing the largest campaign, immunization campaign, ever in the world for the first time.
Nigeria Customs Service has announced a 100% exemption from import duty and value-added tax (VAT) for the importation of compressed natural gas, liquefied petroleum gas, commonly known as cooking gas, and electric vehicles. The tax relief was contained in additional guidelines issued by the service under the Presidential Gas for Growth initiative to support the federal government's drive towards cleaner energy adoption and reduced transportation costs. The National Public Relations Officer of the service, Abdullahi Maiwada, disclosed the development in a statement issued in Abuja. According to the guidelines, the fiscal incentives are aimed at encouraging investment in gas-powered and electric mobility solutions while accelerating
Under Nigerian law, the punishments for vote buying and selling includes a fine of 5 million naira, a 2-year jail term, or both. Through strict legislative updates to the repealed Electoral Act 2022 ahead of the upcoming general elections, the National Assembly significantly stiffened these penalties. Under the current legal framework, Section 22 of the new Electoral Act 2026, the fine was escalated from previous limits, which capped punishment at 500,000 naira and 12 months in prison, to not less than 5 million naira and a jail term of not less than 2 years.
Crude oil and commodity trading, financial upstick and downstick, and the world of organized private sector. The Market Report, showing on Adbn TV, 1 to 2 p.m.
Adbn, a part of you.
One thing or two. Violence for animals, division for plants, 3 class, 4, order, 5, family, 6, 10, 7, special. Should we sing it again? Should we sing it again?
Okay, so if you're looking to study,
Adbn, a part of you.
An impact in humanitarian industry.
I am so delighted. I'm very happy to be a winner of Hills and Cruising.
Download the app and you may be the next week lucky winner.
We have been able to give you a different perspective to entertainment program. We don't only entertain you with good musicals. We celebrate Nigerians. Watch it, participate, and feel the cruising moments.
Every second, a story breaks.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has formally presented the 2026 appropriation bill to the National Assembly.
The nation reacts. The world shifts. History moves in real time. Before the noise, before the opinions. One screen keeps you connected. From the headlines shaking the nation to the stories everyone talks about tomorrow. Stream anytime, anywhere. When the story matters, you know where to turn. Adbn. a part of you.
Every day, across forests, highways, towns and villages, brave men and women stand watch so that Nigeria can sleep. They leave their families behind, confront danger head-on, and make sacrifices many of us will never see. Yet, the enemies of our nation continue their assault. They target our children. They murder innocent citizens. They force families from their homes. They turn thriving communities into places of fear and uncertainty. Their goal is simple: to break our spirit, divide our people, and steal the future of our nation. But Nigeria is stronger than terror. As we demand greater accountability, stronger security measures, and more effective action from those entrusted with our safety, we must also play our part. Support our security forces. Salute their gallantry. Stand with those who stand for us. If you see something, say something. Let us be our brother's keeper. We must never surrender to fear, despair,
which has dealt a significant blow to the insurgents' leadership and information network. Troops of Operation Hardin Kai sustained intensive offensive operations against Boko Haram and ISWAP and Jazz terrorists in Adamawa, Bauchi, Borno and Yobe states during the month. Troops were able to neutralize 54 terrorist fighters, arrested 102 terrorists, rescued 102 kidnapped victims, and facilitated the surrender of 57 insurgents and their families.
Military also reported that Operation Fansan Yamar rescued 191 kidnapped victims, neutralized 33 terrorists and arrested 66 suspects in the northwest, while troops sustained operations against kidnappers and armed groups in the north central, leading to more arrests, rescues and the recovery of weapons. A joint security operation involving the Nigerian Army, Navy and other security agencies has rescued an abducted senior military officer and a civilian after 10 days in captivity in Enugu State. The Nigerian Army identified the victims as Lieutenant Colonel Ofo Amobi and Mr. Ikechukwu Onwara, saying they were rescued in the early hours of Friday. The operation was carried out by troops of Sector 1 of Operation Udoka, comprising personnel from the 82 Division Garrison, 103 Battalion, the Nigerian Navy Special Boat Service, and the 197 Special Forces Battalion. The Army said the rescue followed sustained search operations and actionable intelligence provided by the Division Police Officer of Inyi Division, which led troops to the victim's location. The Edo State Police Command has dismissed 5 corporals and demoted an inspector over their alleged involvement in an unlawful arrest, abduction and extortion syndicate uncovered in Benin City. Police Public Relations Officer ASP Edno Ikoedem disclosed this while briefing journalists, saying the action followed months of intelligence-led investigations prompted by complaints from residents. According to him, victims alleged they were intercepted by individuals posing as police officers, forced into commercial buses and compelled to withdraw money through point-of-sale operators before being released. The command said the dismissed officers will be prosecuted, while another inspector linked to the alleged criminal activities has been declared a deserter after absconding. Efforts are ongoing to apprehend him. Inspector
Awerime Wisdom, Inspector Arebame God's Power, Pramodi Philip, Corporal David Samuel, Corporal Elvis, and ex-force Corporal Emmanuel Destiny, Corporal Uwase Emmanuel, attached to 60 PMF Squadron ESACO, was defaulted and tried in an orderly room for the offense of discreditable conduct contrary to paragraph E, sub 3. The investigation has revealed that the suspects were operating as an organized criminal network comprising 7 police personnel, dismissed police personnel, commercial bus drivers, and civilian collaborators who systematically targeted innocent persons for abduction and extortion. So far, more than 11 victims have positively identified members of this syndicate. Following a thorough investigation and disciplinary proceedings, the following officers who were found culpable of misconduct on warrant disciplinary action was
The Edo State Police Command warned that erring officers and civilians aiding criminal activities would face prosecution, while reaffirming its commitment to accountability and protecting the public from abuse. The federal government says reports claiming that Kuwait recently banned the recruitment of Nigerian domestic workers are false. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs said the suspension of the recruitment and deployment of Nigerian domestic workers to Kuwait was initiated years ago by the Nigerian embassy in Kuwait City. According to the ministry, the measure was not imposed by the Kuwaiti government, but was introduced by Nigeria as part of efforts to protect the welfare and rights of its citizens seeking employment in the Gulf country. The Delta State government has rolled out a welfare package including a 2 million naira grant for each affected family and monthly stipends to support Deltans evacuated from South Africa following recent xenophobic attacks. Governor Sheriff Oborowori, represented by his Chief of Staff, Honorable Johnson Erijo, while announcing the intervention, said individual returnees would receive 200,000 naira monthly, while each affected family would get 300,000 naira every month from August 2026 until May 29, 2027 to aid their reintegration. Also speaking, Commissioner for the Bureau for Special Duties, Honorable Ejiro Itacheroe, said the state government remains committed to helping the returnees rebuild their lives, describing the intervention as a demonstration of compassionate leadership.
In response to your plight, government has decided to mitigate your loss by providing immediate welfare support of free medical screening in all state-owned facilities and a grant of 2 million naira per family to help you settle. In addition, you will receive monthly stipend of 200,000 naira only for individual and 300,000 naira only for families respectively of our repatriated brothers and sisters.
And His Excellency has done very well to give each and every one of them, including the family, the sum of 2 million naira each. And there's also a privilege for them for free medications. And the Ministry of Humanitarian is also giving them huge sums of money monthly.
The government further directed the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Services to provide trauma counseling and psychosocial support for the returnees and their families, while urging residents to receive them with compassion.
We watch with dismay the xenophobic attacks that were targeted at fellow Africans in South Africa. No human being deserves to be beaten, displaced, or live in fear because of their nationality. This painful experience must not deter your entrepreneurial spirit. You left with courage to seek a better life. Now, let that same resilience and determination help you build a better future. As a government, we are creating a state where every individual can dream boldly, work proudly, diversity into progress, and build a Delta state that shines as a beacon of hope and opportunity. For there is no place like home. We thank the federal government for its timely action and stand firm in demanding that the dignity and rights of every Nigerian abroad be protected.
Responding on behalf of the returnees, Mr. Jacob Abada thanked Governor Borobori for the financial support, describing it as timely, while other beneficiaries recounted their experiences during the attacks.
My heart and all my brothers and sisters who are sitting down there, we say thank you, sir. Through the social media, we have been seeing the work of His Excellency that he's been doing. So I've been hearing the Ukodo, he's been cooking, so we are part of the Ukodo today. We are benefiting. Thank you, sir.
Myself and a few others who I've associated with, I am very, very overwhelmed with happiness. I am happy. I came back safe to see my brothers, my sisters, my family, my kids. I am very, very happy. It's not all about the money, but you coming back alive is something that you should admonish God for. It's a favor. So I'm happy for what God has done for me.
Where I lived, there was nothing direct to me, but to other people, they were endangered, lives were lost, properties were lost. But all the same, we thank God for bringing us safe back home. That's the most important thing.
Adbn Delta correspondent Charles Kosipre reports that the state government says all returnees will be properly documented and supported through relevant agencies to ensure their successful reintegration into society. You're watching AGBN News at 7. Stay with us for entertainment, foreign and sports stories after this breather. A federal high court in Lagos has affirmed gospel singer Sinachi Joseph Egbu, popularly known as Sinach, as the sole author and copyright owner of her hit song Waymaker. Justice A. Lewis Alagua dismissed a 5 billion naira suit filed by music producer Michael Luwole, ruling that he failed to prove claims of co-authorship and co-ownership of the song. Oluwole had sought legal recognition as a co-author of Waymaker, a share of the song's earnings, and 5 billion naira in damages over alleged infringement of his performer's rights. The court held that his role was limited to mixing and mastering the already completed work after being contracted and paid for the service, and therefore did not confer ownership or authorship rights. into the Spanish enclave of Ceuta in North Africa. Officials said about 60,000 migrants crossed into Ceuta over the past few days, with many attempting the journey by sea, despite efforts by security forces to stop them. Authorities reported that at least 57 migrants died during the crossings, with fatalities resulting from drowning and a stampede near a border checkpoint. The trial of former DR Congo Justice Minister Constant Mutamba resumed on Friday at the Court of Cassation without the defendant present. Mutamba is accused of embezzling about $20 million meant for the Uganda Victims Reparations Fund, an allegation he denies. His co-defendant, Chenkard Bukolela, appeared before the court as proceedings continued. Both men are facing charges linked to compensation payments from a $325 million reparations fund awarded to the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Team Nigeria recorded another success in athletics at the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, with Samuel Ogazi winning the men's 400 meters gold medal. The 20-year-old crossed the finish line in 44.25 seconds to claim the title, ahead of Jareem Richards, who finished second in 44.82 seconds, while South Africa's Zakithi Nene took bronze in 45.21 seconds. Nigeria also secured another athletics medal as Ella Onojuwewo finished third in the women's 400 meters final at Coldstone Stadium to claim the bronze medal. And while Nigerian judoka Enku Ekuta has made history by winning a bronze medal in the women's 63 kg event at the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland. Ekuta secured the podium finish after defeating Zambia's Rita Kabinda in the bronze medal contest. On her way to the medal, she recorded impressive victories over New Zealand's Horner Christie and Solomon Islands' Georgina George. The achievement sees Ekuta become the first Nigerian judoka to win a Commonwealth Games medal since Alice Levinas claimed bronze in the women's 48 kg category at the Manchester 2002 Commonwealth Games, ending a 24-year wait for Nigeria in the sport. Nigeria's Super Falcons will look to revive their 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations campaign when they face Zambia in their second Group C match in Morocco later tonight. Head coach Justine Madugu said the team remains focused despite its 3-2 opening defeat to Malawi, stressing that the players are determined to respond positively. Madugu added that the team's immediate objective is to secure qualification for the FIFA Women's World Cup while continuing its quest to retain the continental title. The Group C encounter is scheduled to kick off at 9 p.m. and will be broadcast live on Adbn TV. Moving on, the Confederation of African Football (CAF) has announced Lagos as the host city for the 2026 CAF Awards, bringing Africa's top football talents together for the annual celebration of players, coaches, and teams. The ceremony will be held at the Wole Soyinka Center for Culture and Creative Arts in Igamu, marking the first time Nigeria will host the prestigious awards since 2015. CAF has yet to announce the date for the event, although Nigeria has already been confirmed as the host nation. The announcement comes ahead of Nigeria's hosting of the 48th CAF Ordinary General Assembly in October, with it yet to be confirmed whether both events will take place within the same period. UEFA says it has lost confidence in FIFA President Gianni Infantino following the decision to abandon a proposed private investment plan for FIFA competitions. Infantino confirmed that FIFA would no longer pursue plans to sell minority stakes in its competitions to private investors after the proposal faced opposition from several football governing bodies. UEFA welcomed the withdrawal of the plan, describing it as positive for the sport, but said the episode had further eroded its trust in Infantino's leadership. It also accused him of failing to fulfill commitments made during his 2016 campaign for the FIFA presidency. The development comes ahead of FIFA's Congress in March, where Infantino is expected to seek a fourth term as president. And that's it on ADBN TV News. Remember to watch us live on DSTV channel 258 and Star Times channel 140, Avo TV app, Linux World TV app, and Niger TV app. For more stories, visit our website at adbntv.com. You can also watch us live from every part of the world by logging on to adbntv.com/live. My name is Xavier Robert. Thanks for watching and do have a terrific evening.